Welcome into the Lifeline Morning Show. I'm Steven. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I've got an inspiring quote here for you to make sure you're in the right headspace to tackle your day. Life consists not in holding good cards, but in playing those you hold well. This one really hits home for me. I was talking with a friend of mine last night who's going through a hard time at work. Everything's chaotic. They're having to cover shifts because people are quitting, and it's been stressful. He comes home tired. His back, his knee, they're hurting, and he's just tired of being tired. And he said, Steven, if you hear of any good jobs coming open, please let me know. Because, I love what I do, and I love being able to talk with people and help fill their needs, but this is beginning to be too much. I don't know what God's plan is for my life, but maybe this just isn't it. The more I thought about that, the more I recognized that sometimes the will of God isn't necessarily in our dream occupation. The will of God is in handling what we have well. But I'm sure you've learned how to do this, and you're becoming a master at making the most of the cards that you're dealt. So keep up the good work and be the blessing even in that stressful situation that you happen to find yourself in, because that stressful situation is not going to last forever. But how can you handle it with excellence and with gratitude, with a smile on your face and with positivity, rather than being down and being negative and being a grump? I'm not saying my friend is doing that, by the way. It's hard, especially in the middle of it. But once you get past it and you look back, it's like, really? What did I get so upset for? I know, right? But hey, you have the opportunity to be the blessing to somebody today, regardless of what situation you're in. And one thing that I found is if I can help somebody else's day be better, it makes my day better at the same time. It helps me get over the problems that I'm facing. So give it a try today, especially if you're in a tough spot. Be extra generous, extra kind, extra loving to somebody in your life today. Maybe that person you feel doesn't even deserve it. And watch how it lifts your spirits. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. So I've been out of the dating scene for a minute, and I love my wife. I'm very happy in my marriage. I wouldn't want to have to try to start over again. Well, one, because, come on. It's so hard to find somebody you kind of, you jive with. It's hard to put yourself out there to find that special somebody. It's nerve-wracking. It's heartbreak. It's crazy. And I know a lot of people are dealing with that right now. You haven't found that special someone, and you're looking for particular qualities in your wife or maybe in your husband. Well, really, when it comes down to it, what are you looking for? Are you looking at the superficial stuff? Are you looking at the skin deep stuff? Or are you looking at the character? Are you looking at intelligence? Are you looking at the way that they love, the way that they care, the way that they interact with others around them? That's a big question. And some people, I'm afraid, are just stuck on the superficial stuff. Came across Tom Papa. He's hilarious. He's a stand-up comedian, and he has a little something to say about a friend of his who's thinking about getting married and how he might have his priorities a little out of line. Here, see what you think.
I have a friend that's thinking about getting married. He's so dumb the way he's talking. Hey, he's been with the girl for 5 years, and these things he talks about. She's nice, her family's pretty cool, she's smart, but I don't know if she's hot enough. I don't know. Yeah, I'm talking about getting married. Is she hot enough? If you're talking about getting married for the rest of your life, you don't care about hot. You don't marry hot. You marry strong. You don't want a supermodel. You want someone who can pick up the other end of the couch. That's who you marry.
Strength definitely comes in handy. Here's Casting Crowns with Crazy People right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. I hope that put a smile on your face. Now your word of life. Today from Psalm 113, verse 3, in the New Living Translation of the Bible. Everywhere, from east to west, praise the name of the Lord. Short, sweet, to the point. He deserves that praise, doesn't he? Hey, why does he deserve that praise? From you. I know he's been good, right? When's the last time you told somebody just how good he's been to you? When's the last time you shared your faith with them? Well, maybe today should be the day that you do it again. We've got that word of life ready for you to start that conversation with across all of our socials: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. And it's always at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. We would be honored if you'd use that word of life to share your faith with a friend or a family member. Hey, I want to shout out somebody listening to us right now. Oh, a few people over on the stream. I see you in Atlanta, Georgia. Thanks for making us part of your morning. Plus, we've got Huntsville, Alabama listening right now, as well as Helsinki, Finland. Thanks for making us part of your day, whether it's on the stream or on the radio.
Being in the hospital, like, any amount of time feels like forever. So when they told us we can go, we just were like so excited.
That's Amanda. Her and Brett welcomed their third child into the world, and it took Facebook by storm. Why? Well, it wasn't necessarily the baby. It was rather Brett's reaction to the birth. I'll tell you more coming up. You're going to love this. Stick around. First, here's Toby Mac and Zach Williams with Cornerstone. It's surreal witnessing your child being born. It's crazy, awesome, and it's hectic, and it's sweet, and there's so many emotions wrapped up in it, right? Yeah, 9 months have been leading up to that moment. And yeah, it might get a little complicated. Might have to switch from a natural birth to a C-section. That's what happened with me and my wife, Cassie. But I was in the room when Grace was taken out. I've got some really gnarly pictures of her being taken, by the way. It'd make a great rock album cover. I've been thinking about submitting those for some kind of rock band. Anyway, it was something else, being able to cut the cord and being able to hold my daughter for the first time ever. I don't know, there's just a bond that's made right then and there that's like nothing else in this world. You get to kind of understand a little bit about how God feels about us as our Father when you become a father or a mother yourself. It's special. But let's go back to this whole dynamic of being married. Okay, us guys, lots of times we can get in trouble for not just the words that we say, but for looking a certain way. Those looks that we have on our face. I don't know. Sometimes I wear my emotions on my face and it gets me in trouble. My wife will say, "I saw that look. What did you mean by that look?" I'm like, "Babe, I didn't say anything." It's one of those things, right? Well, couple the whole facial expression with the miraculous birth of a child. That's where we find Brett and Amanda as they're welcoming Brinley, their third child, into the world. And it wasn't that Brinley was, a certain weight or a certain length. It had nothing to do with her as to why this went viral. Rather, it was because of Dad's facial expressions. Photos were taken from across the room as the baby was delivered, and the look on his face, I don't know, it's like I'm trying to figure out how to properly portray to you what this look on his face is. It's almost like when you look at something that you can't believe is happening. That kind of awkward, weird look on your face, like, I can't believe I'm seeing this. That's exactly what's on his face. In these photos, well, here, I'll let Brett tell you a little bit about what was going on.
I don't know, I was just shocked, watching the baby being born.
We didn't even look at them until I got back into the room, later on after, and then I seen those, and I just was like, I have to post these.
Yeah, since those photos were posted, it's been shared over 4,000 times, and that was just in the first couple of days. So a lot of relatable people out there saying, yep, I feel you. I was in amazement too. I love that. Hey, I want to make it easy for you to find this. So tell you what, I'm going to go put it on our 88.5 JFM's Come Together Facebook group, okay? Because I want you to see the look on his face. It's priceless. You're going to love it, okay? So you can go over there and check it out here in the next 30 seconds. The 88.5 JFM's Come Together Facebook group. All right, more great music headed your way. Here is Andrew Ripp, For the Love of God. I love getting out there on Lake Guntersville, and almost as much as swimming, I enjoy looking at the lake houses. They're gorgeous, right? And sometimes you notice that people aren't even living in those things. It's like they're just sitting there. But then at the same time, you're just admiring all these beautiful houses as you're going along, and you're thinking to yourself, wow, what do they have that I don't have? Ah, the old comparison monster rears its ugly head, and then you start feeling down about yourself. It's like, I don't have one of those houses. And don't get me wrong, there's one in particular that I really like. I'm like, that's my house. I'm doing that whole faith thing and calling it what it is instead of what it, speaking things that are not as though they are. I'm kind of doing that with one particular house. But anyway, it's real easy to compare yourself to others, and it can be a trap. Now, it might not be in lake houses for you. Maybe it's watching somebody else's success over on social media. Maybe it's that friend of yours who's been to Disney 20 times, and hey, they're at Disney right now again. It's like, really? Really? I can't afford to go to Disney. See? You see what it does? It makes you feel bad about yourself. You can't fall into that trap. So how do you handle comparison? I want you to stick around because I've got a pretty cool strategy for you. I absolutely love that we are on this journey together, right? And we can learn from each other. I'm always looking for people who have been through things that I'm going through right now. And I like to see how they handled it. How did they get through to the other side successfully? And I think that's why social media is so great, because it gives us a little bit of hope. It's like, yeah, this person had the same problem and look what happened to them. They got through it. So if they did, so can I. And I might be able to reach out to them and learn a little something along the way. But then sometimes social media becomes less about reaching out and more about, well, noticing the highlights of everybody's lives. And really, I found it depends on what headspace you're in. If you're feeling gratitude, well, then you're looking with a different set of eyeballs. You're looking to see how things are going great for them and you're happy for them. And then other times you're looking through those eyeballs of a little bit of envy or a comparison. It's like, they've got that. Why can't I have that? Why don't I have that? Then you're down on yourself, So how do you deal with comparison? I came across Kirby Hasseman, and he has a little something to say about how he handles it, and I think we all can learn something from it. So here, see what you think.
Comparison is the thief of joy. I bring this up today because it's something that I've struggled with in the past mightily. And if I'm honest, I still struggle with it sometimes because, the people I'm looking at, the people I'm listening to, the people whose content I follow are all incredibly successful. And it's really easy for me to watch them and see them and think about all the things they have or the things that they've accomplished that I haven't accomplished. And, I think it's important to understand that we're all on our own journey. It's why comparison is the thief of joy. I try to, when I'm feeling that jealousy, I try to lean into the lessons that those folks are teaching me and then get back to taking action, to living my own life. Like I said, it's something I still struggle with. So don't beat yourself up if it's something you're struggling with too. But just remind yourself, comparison is the thief of joy. Live your life.
There you go. Does that help? Yeah. Next time, maybe take that strategy and see if it doesn't lighten your load just a little bit. Take you out of that whole headspace of being jealous or envious, because it's real easy to fall into that hole, isn't it?
You ever had a gut feeling that maybe you were meant for more, but you weren't really sure what the next best steps were to achieve it? Me too. So what's your more? What's your destination? And I'm not talking about just more money or more things. I'm also talking about more love, more joy, more choice, more balance, more trust. What's your more?
I love shining a spotlight on our community, and I want to do that here in just a second. But first, let's talk a little bit about what extracurricular activities are available for our kids. Now, these are above and beyond all of the book smart stuff. You're talking about not, it's not necessarily history or science or it's not math, but a lot of this stuff is incorporated in these clubs. Yeah, maybe it's the robotics club, maybe it's FCCLA, maybe it's Scholars Bowl or FFA, other leadership organizations, maybe FCA. That's an amazing one right there. A debate club, chess club, band, choir, all kinds of things, these organizations that kind of give our kids a little bit of an edge. It helps them learn more than just the book smarts. Hey, it helps them learn specifics in a particular area, right? Kind of give them an edge toward college. And sometimes it kind of weighs their diploma a little bit. It gives them a better chance of getting into college. So, with that in mind, I want to tell you about what Douglas High School has been up to lately. The Douglas FFA just brought home 15 state banners from the Alabama FFA convention. pretty big deal right here. And you see, they had an impossible, I say that with quotes, goal of winning 20 banners in one school year. After bringing home these 15 state banners, they just brought their total to 21 banners. They exceeded their goal. Andrew Brock, he's the agri-science teacher and FFA instructor. Well, he said this year, the chapter officers planned and carried out the most challenging and engaging program of activities in his teaching career. Pretty amazing stuff. He says, along the way, many of our activities allowed us to give back to our school and community and work with our partners. In addition, they set the goal of hanging 20 banners on the wall during the 2022-23 school year. There are many really good programs that only hang a few each year because they're hard to win. I told them that it might be an impossible goal, but I would do everything I could to help them reach it. Working with students who really want to learn and are willing to work hard to succeed makes my job a lot of fun. And boy, does it show. 21 banners over the course of the year. How neat is that? Now, I kind of am remiss to mention all of the members because I'm afraid I don't have everybody's name here, but let me go ahead. I've got a few. And so, hey, I want to give a little recognition to these people. Members of FFA out in Douglas. How about Lily Peters or Alex Lee, Davis Jackson, Ahmad Dublin, Pedro Andrus, and of course, instructor Andrew Brock. Now, there were more down here. As you look through all of these distinctions and these awards, there are a lot of proficiency awards. It shows that these kids know what they're doing in these particular subjects, and I absolutely love that. It's ag mechanics and repair. You've got stuff in here about vegetation, vegetable production proficiency. You've got stuff in here even about swine production proficiency. So a lot of great subject matter areas that they've mastered. Pretty cool stuff. Now, the Alabama FFA degree recipients were Ahmad Dublin, Curtis Bardales, Pedro Andrus, Lily Peters, Will Bishop, Braxton Lindsay, Davis Jackson, Hunter Long, Isaac Baker, and Eli Teal. How cool is that? Now, if I missed anybody's name, I'm sorry. But know that we are proud of you, and we think you're doing an amazing job. So keep up the good work. And hey, if you want to see more about this story, I'll tell you where I got it. It's SandMountainReporter.com. It's right there on their main page. You can go over there and check it out right now if you'd like. But hey, while you're at it, keep us in the background, okay? We'd love to keep you company all day long. All right, got your weather and your word of life coming up shortly. Just had to share a little love with some local high school students. I love when we can do that. All right, stick around. Mom, have you ever had a meltdown before? I've witnessed my mom have one before, and no, never again. That was my vow to myself. I'm never going to be the reason why she does that ever again. It broke me. But let's be honest, there's so many reasons why you might have a little bit of a meltdown. Let's get into one particular instance. Elizabeth Spencer is going to help us out with her experience coming up. I think you're going to love it, so stick around. Here's what Elizabeth Spencer has to say about those mom meltdowns. On our most recent family vacation, I had a mom meltdown. The trigger was an activity we really wanted to do that didn't work out, and didn't work out in a very unnerving, unsettling way. It wasn't just a change of plans, it was a physical stressor that prompted panic. But all that wasn't the real reason for my meltdown. The real reason was something my poor family did not understand. Though they tried, bless them, it's something I'm pretty sure only moms of big kids or pre-big kids can really understand. That the older your children get, the more time together takes on epic significance because you know just how much it took to get to that place, and you don't know when you all might find your way back there again. Gathering an entire family, which may include teens and young adults, for any extended length of time is a feat of scheduling, negotiation, and preference management. The same goes for multi-generational family dinners and holidays and other moments whose casts include older kids who have other things to do, whether they have to do them or want to do them, and other people to do them with or for, like their bosses, friends, coaches, teammates, significant others. As moms, when we look at our people all together at a table, or sprawled on couches, or posing in front of some scenic backdrop for an obligatory family photo, we think we never know when or if we'll see them just this way again. We see days past and envision them spilling over into the present and future. We see the relational house that love and time built and imagine adding onto it. So when something interrupts this scene or chips away at it, we freak out a little or a lot. We do this for the same baseline reason we do everything as moms. We love our people. We love spending time with them. We love watching them interact with each other. We love hearing them laugh together. We love seeing who they've become and who they're becoming. And so, dear spouses and teenagers and adult children of the world, if the mom of your family gets a little meltdowny when all you're trying to do is sightsee or play a game or eat a meal together, please try to understand what that together represents to her. You will tell her kindly and with the most reassuring of attentions that it doesn't matter if everything doesn't work out. But you see, it matters to her because you matter to her. If she's falling apart, it's because she wants so much to hold you all together. Wow. Understanding the heart of a mom. That's so complex. Now we get to see a little deeper into what makes mom tick, what she really loves. And I'm thankful for that. Thank you, Elizabeth Spencer, for sharing that today. I've got a good feeling somebody's going to love the ingredients of my kid cuisine this morning. I'm just not sure you're going to love them mashed together. Yeah, stick around and find out after this. It's 8 o'clock. You know what that means. It's time for some kid cuisine. Our kids, they're home for just a little while longer on this summer break. And you know, during the course of the day, they get bored and they get hungry. And those two things mix quite weirdly in the kitchen. Some weird concoctions come out of there. You might even call them culinary crimes. Well, I'm here to tell you about one of them. Today's kid cuisine. It involves two very well-loved ingredients. In fact, the first one, chocolate chip cookies. Oh, so good. They're like the best cookie in the world, right? Well, you know, the more I think about chocolate chip cookies, the more I miss Chick-fil-A. The one here in Guntersville, they're renovating, and so they're shut down, and I love their chocolate chunk cookies. So good. And I think it would probably go well in this recipe because it's big. You need 2 big chocolate chip cookies to make this work. So, Steven, what's the second ingredient? Well, I'm happy to tell you it's something else. It's ooey and gooey and delicious. You love it on top of pizza. You love it even on a cheeseburger. But would you love it between 2 chocolate chip cookies? Because that is today's kid cuisine. It is a chocolate chip grilled cheese. Right? It's like these two things are great on their own, but mashed together, I'm not so sure. Well, one thing I've learned is don't knock it till you try it. So if you want to try that for yourself, go ahead, be brave, and let me know how it tastes. But in the meantime, I also want to hear your kids' favorite thing to make in the kitchen because we need to celebrate them. They're in there, they're giving it an effort. Maybe they come up with some crazy recipes, but maybe you tried it, it was terrible, or you tried it and it was delicious. Either way, we'd love to hear your story. Go on over to our Facebook page, 88.5_JFM. You'll see the Kid Cuisine post at the top of the page. You can see today's recipe and all of them from throughout the summer, and we want to see your kids there as well. We want to talk about it here on the radio, okay? Sound good? Can you do that for me? Again, the top of our Facebook page. Now, I've got something else exciting. I'm going to be giving away a family 4-pack of Lake Winnie tickets after Christian Paul. And yes, I am. You got to be able to answer a riddle. So get your fingers ready to dial my digits and we'll find out if you're going to win. Oh my, you know what? It's time for me to give away some Lake Winnie passes. We're talking about the amusement park. We're talking about the water park all together. Lake Winnipesaukee. It all comes down to whether you know the answer to my riddle. And I have faith in you. Okay, so let's get to it, shall we? What begins with a T, finishes with a T, and has T in it? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Again, the question is, what begins with T, finishes with T, and has T in it? 256-505-0885, waiting on your call right now. You could be taking home a family 4-pack of tickets to Lake Winnie. What begins with T, finishes with T, and has a T in it? 256-505-0885. And there is my caller now. I'm going to capture that call. Stay on the phone line. 88.5 JFM, good morning.
Hey, Steven.
Hey, what's going on, my friend?
Oh, little as I can get by with.
I understand that, man. Are you having a great morning so far?
I am so far.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. I'm going to see if maybe we can make it even better. I've got your chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to Lake Winnie if you know the answer to my question. And here is the riddle. What begins with T, finishes with T, and has T in it?
Is it teapot?
That's exactly right. Good job. Congratulations, sir. I know y'all are going to have a blast at Lake Winnie.
Well, thank you.
Yes, sir. Hey, thanks so much for calling me up this morning. Let me make sure I got your address here, and I will get this family 4-pack sent your way. Now, tell me a little bit about how things are going at church. You've been preaching recently, haven't you?
I have.
Yeah, how's everything going?
Everything's going good. We're having a singing coming up August the 6th.
I heard about that.
Come be with us.
Yeah, New Ground. Yeah, they're amazing.
They are.
Yeah, good stuff. Tell everybody where you're at. What church?
Victory Cornerstone and Arab.
Yes, sir. Awesome. All right, I'll be talking more about the concert between now and then, too. Hopefully, we can pack that place out for some good Southern gospel music. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right, man. Can I ask you one more question, Brandon?
You sure can.
Why do you listen to this radio station?
It's very encouraging and uplifting and spiritually inspiring.
Oh, man, thank you for listening. You're the reason why we're here. I'll get these in the mail to you today, okay?
All right, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Have a great one.
All right.
Another Lake Winnie Wednesday in the books. This is so much fun. All summer long, we've been able to give away water park and amusement park passes. In Lake Winnie on Wednesdays, we've got Point Mallard on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We've got Jaden's Ice Cream on Mondays, and it's just been a blast. We're trying to give you some experiences with your family that will last a lifetime, and Lake Winnie is a lot of fun. So glad to do this. So be listening for your chance to win some Point Mallard water park passes, a family 4-pack, tomorrow morning in the 8 o'clock hour. Yeah, who knows? You might just win, like he just did. Cool. All right. Hey, back to the music that you love now. Stick around. I got some fun stuff to talk about. Just a few minutes ago, I got this text message and it said, awesome song lineup this morning. This will get you moving. Yes, they will. Kim, I'm so glad you're listening to me, and I want to play a song for you right now. It's Blanca with different drum. I know this is one of your favorites, so turn it up. Let's keep that feel-good music going, shall we? It's Jordan Feliz with The King is Alive, and I got a feel-good story for you coming up about a lady turning 100 years old. You're going to love what she has to say. Stick around. Here's something I believe with my whole heart. Grandmothers are a gift. Oh, they bring so much light to this world. I'm telling you. They've been there, they've done that, they've made the mistakes, and they pass along the information to us to let us know how they made it through, to help us along on our journey. And I love that. My granny, I'm telling you what, she was out in left field most of the time. She wasn't like crazy, but she was kind of crazy. And then my other grandma, my Mimi, well, she was a lot more reserved. I loved them both. They both taught me a lot of life lessons, gave me a lot of advice. So, if you have a grandmother in your life, celebrate them. Spend time with them because, wow, you miss them when they're not here anymore. Yeah. Came across a story of Chelsea. Chelsea's got a grandma, and she's blessed to still have her grandma around because you see her grandma's about to turn, well, let's just say that she just turned the big, well, here, just take a listen to this. I got a little follow-up for you right after, too, so make sure to stick around.
You're going to be 100 years old.
What?
100 years old.
What year is this?
This is 2023.
It's a 23, and I was born in 23.
Mm-hmm.
100 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Can you believe it?
Son of a gun. I don't feel 100.
No.
Wow.
How old do you feel?
I feel maybe 50.
That's great.
55, maybe.
That's great. What's your secret?
I don't know, but I feel healthy.
Good.
You know, like there's nothing that's aching and hanging, and please, Lord, let me get through my 100th birthday. Don't fool around. I feel fine. I'll take good care of myself.
Yeah.
So that I'll make it.
That's next month. We're going to have a big party for you. It's going to be wonderful.
Where do you hold a party like that?
I was thinking in the garden.
Here?
Yeah. There's a beautiful garden downstairs. What do you think?
Sounds good. All the people looking out the window.
Mm-hmm.
There was no fooling around either. That was posted on her Instagram about 6 weeks ago, and 3 weeks ago, they actually were able to celebrate the big 100.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Grandma. Happy birthday to you.
How cool is that? 100 years old. Wow, she's seen a lot of things happen in her life. She's full of wisdom, and you can tell she's got a smile on her face. Many more years for that grandma. I hope she gets to shine her light a little longer. I don't know if you ever deal with this, but I sure do. So I was really having a hard time this morning. There are a few things here on the radio that I kind of messed up. It's like I lost my train of thought and I couldn't find the words, and then I hit the wrong thing over here on the production computer. But for those of you who don't know, I'm sitting in front of this audio board, right? And in front of this audio board, well, above it are two computer monitors. I've got a computer on my left, a computer on my right. And, having to kind of coordinate between all the computers and the boards and all the other stuff in the studio can get kind of confusing. So I mess up sometimes. And used to be, when I first got into broadcasting, a little mess up would kind of taint the rest of the show. I would just keep messing up and keep messing up. It's like when it rains, it pours, right? I've learned how to kind of overcome that and get out of that funk that you get in when you make those mistakes because you kind of feel like you're stupid. You ever deal with that? Yeah? Well, hey, I've learned to kind of rise above and kind of let it go and look forward to the next thing. So I don't know, maybe you needed to hear that. Maybe here recently you've been going through the same kind of thing. It's just mess up after mess up after mess up, and it's like you can't catch a break. Don't worry about it. You can catch a break. Stop thinking about the mistake and worrying that you're going to make the same mistake again and look forward to a brighter future. See yourself doing the thing correctly, and you're going to get there. It just takes a little confidence, and yes, it takes pushing forward, sometimes really hard. Like I said, just earlier this morning, it was 2 or 3 things in a row. It was like, really? Today? Why? But it happens to us all. But I am thankful that I am never alone. You know? We have the Holy Spirit on the inside of us, guiding us into all truth. And will He help us with our daily tasks? I believe so. You know? He's with us all the time. So why wouldn't He? So lean on Him a little bit and keep things in prayer. Ask God to help you where you feel like you're insufficient. And guess what? He says in His Word, if you lack wisdom, ask for it. So He's ready to help you with anything that you need. And hey, I need this pep talk too, because like I said, I'm in the same boat. I'm glad to be doing this life with you though. Thanks for hanging out with me. How do you handle change? Well, I'll give you some advice. Next, talking about change, I think that maybe actors have some of the best tenacity, the most tenacity in this world, because lots of times they go from job to job not really knowing, is there any kind of future on this job? Because, you know, if you get into television or film, you'll work on one movie and then you might not work for another 3 or 4 years. Or in television, you hope you're going to land a role that's going to last for years and years and so many seasons. And then, hey, it's over. And what's the next chapter? There's a lot of change there, right? So I imagine it takes a lot of planning. But how do you handle change? Yeah, you're not an actor. You're not in show business. But still change comes, right? In other ways, we're all dealing with change. Sometimes we don't like it because we get kind of complacent. We get comfortable in our routine. That's kind of how humans function. We love what we know. But hey, I came across some advice from an actress. Her name is Mayim Bialik. You know, the nation fell in love with her as Blossom years ago. And she's been on other shows. She was on The Big Bang Theory not too long ago. And, she's been on Jeopardy too as the host there. It's always changing. Her career is always taking different courses. So how does she handle change? Well, here's a little advice from her. See what you think about this.
One of the things about change, especially if we're nervous about change, we often will avoid thinking about it because we think if we don't think about it, it'll be okay. Guess what? Planning, investing some cognitive energy in thinking about what is needed, what is expected of you, what possible scenarios might be, that's actually helpful. That's different from ruminating and worrying. Planning is different. Planning involves concrete things that you look at that you can say, what needs to be done? What do I need to do What do I need to make a list of? I love a list. A list really helps me cope with change, honestly.
And I love that she broke it down that way. She kind of told you, what's the difference between planning and worrying? Well, there's a structure to it, right? There's not a lot of stress involved. There's not this worry that it's not all going to work out. There's a plan in place to help it work out. So, how are you handling change right now? Maybe you've just been avoiding it, not wanting to think about it. Well, I want to invite you to think about it today. Make a plan on how you're going to handle that change, and then it'll go a lot smoother. You'll be surprised. I've always had a problem with the term self-made. How about you? Whenever I hear of somebody being a self-made millionaire or a self-made success, I'm like, hold on a second. That seems a little presumptuous, doesn't it? You did that all by yourself? I know that the technical term, I guess, for self-made is that you weren't born into wealth. You weren't born into money. In fact, I'm just looking at a study over on Yahoo Finance. It says that over 2/3 of millionaires are self-made. Yeah, that just means that they weren't born into the riches. But let's talk about those accomplishments that we make in our lives. We have to have a team of people supporting us to help us be successful. I mean, and it starts as early as birth. Think about all the people that play a role in your life that have gotten you to where you are today. I love the way that Kevin Hart put it. I know, right? Kevin Hart on Christian radio. Are you kidding me, Stephen? No, I'm not. He actually has something really nice to say about this whole idea of being self-made. And really, that's not a thing. Here, take a listen.
Nothing is done by one individual. No level of success is reached by one person. And the person that wants the rewards and the accolades for it all, and that doesn't embrace the world of team and the foundation that stands underneath, is a person that won't last long. You have to surround yourself with people that you can not only earn with, but that will support and embrace along the way. I have an amazing team.
It's a point of humility and gratitude that will get you to where you need to go in the right headspace. Because let's be honest, being successful brings about a level of pride that it's really easy to fall into. But don't fall into that trap. Well, my little girl does this thing from time to time whenever we're leaving a store. She'll close her eyes, hold my hand, and say, "All right, Dad, guide me." Oh, it's a lot of fun. But hey, when's the last time you just closed your eyes and tried to walk in a straight line? Were you successful? A new study out about that. I'll share more next. I think my daughter got my wife's sense of direction, and so I'm very happy about that because I'm awful with directions. Terrible. Yeah, sometimes I feel like I know how to get around. So even in the house sometimes, especially early in the morning, you have to get up, middle of the night, have to go to the bathroom. I don't want to turn on the lights. So I just kind of, think, hey, I've walked this path 1,000 times before. I should be able to do it in the dark. Yeah, it doesn't always turn out so nice. And they also have lighted toilet seats for that reason, by the way. Just throwing that out there. Anyway, hey, there's a study that just came out of Germany. They were doing this little experiment, trying to figure out why are people so bad with directions? And see, it's not just me. In fact, this is more on a basic level, right? So they found that if you blindfold somebody, they cannot walk in a straight line. They said, actually, as humans, we have to rely on tools and landmarks to help us to walk in a straight line. You take the tools away, take the landmarks away, and we are lost as a ball in high weeds. It's crazy. They said they don't quite know what the reason is. At first, they were thinking maybe the asymmetry of the body. Maybe one leg is a little longer or a little heavier than the other. Or maybe it has something to do with whether you're right or left-handed. But really, when it comes down to it, all it takes is one little error in step to start you off track. And you just keep going and going and going off track. In fact, they found that most people actually walk in tight loops. Yeah, that's how we do. So I think that's the reason why people get lost in the woods when they don't have a landmark. They just kind of walk. They think they're walking in a straight line, but before you know it, it's like, hey, didn't I already pass by that tree once before? So there you go. They're still working on trying to figure out what's going on with that. The mystery still hasn't quite been solved, but hey, if you're bad with directions like I am, it's not so bad after all. Turns out everybody's not so great with directions. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. It's been a blast hanging out with you so far this morning, and I got some more music for you. How about some Andrew Ripp with Fill My Cup right here, right now on the Lifeline on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better. Leave you with a little nugget to think about before I have to say goodbye. How come bills never go on sale? Like rent being 25% off, or pay 2 electricity bills and get the next one free? Wouldn't life be a lot more fun if we had that kind of stuff? It's like, come on, I need a BOGO on water. But you know what? I know that we have an amazing support system. You know, we've got a Father who never leaves us or forsakes us. He's always watching out for us, making things work together behind the scenes, and making sure that the bills are paid. Yeah, somehow he just makes it work out. Yeah, he's pretty good that way. Just wanted to remind you of just how good he is. Hey, why don't you take that word of life today, share it with somebody, because that's a good one, talking about how we should be praising him, because he's just that good. Thanks for hanging out with me today here on The Lifeline. That's going to wrap it up. I'll see you right back here tomorrow from 6 to 10. Your chance to win some Point Mallard Water Park passes tomorrow as well, so be listening in the 8 o'clock hour. But I hope you'll join me starting at 6 o'clock. That's when we get things kicked off. So I will see you then. Keep it locked in here to 88.5 JFM all day long. We'd love to keep you company. And remember, you can always stream us when you're away from your radio.